Alright, so we always show you a video of what the back of our farm looks like, and today as I ride along the road I'm going to show you what Eric and Eric's house looks like, or the twins' houses look like on the front of our property. So as we ride, we're just going to turn this video around and let you see it, okay? So this is Eric and Danette's house. They're probably stirring in the house, I'm sure by now. And you can see this is from the front. This is the garden and the blackberry bushes, and the front of their house. It looks like our sprinkler didn't turn off on Danette's house last night. It's supposed to pop off unless she got up this morning and ran it on a new. No, it hadn't even made it to its new track, I don't think. But this is coming onto mine and Denise's place, and you can see the rabbit barn back there and some blueberry bushes.
The raised bushes.
The raised beds and the chicken house.
The raised beds, not bushes.
And this is our front yard, and we had, you can see we got a pecan tree in the middle of the front yard. And we used to have this knob right here in the yard. Used to be another huge cedar tree, and then we have another knob down here with the two stakes in it that used to be another old cedar tree, big one that Hurricane Michael blew down. And we also had one here on this knob, and we had one back where those blackberry bushes were. I actually planted the blackberry bushes where the tree once was. But this little old pond here is just a little half-acre, like catfish pond. It's dammed up, separate from the back pond. And then this starts a pasture. And our wonderful neighbors, Kyle and Kristen. And so they help us all along out here on the farm. They enjoy it. Kristen feeds the cows by hand at her back fence.
And Murphy doesn't like to ride the golf cart, so he just runs along beside us.
Yeah, Colonel likes to ride in the golf cart, and there ain't enough room for Colonel when we're all on here. The cows are up in this top pasture by the road this morning. And all this fence was put up by myself, Denise, Danette, Eric, Jace, Erica, Sarah, my son Caleb, and James Perry.
My dad and my mom.
And Janet Perry.
Come on, Murph, let's go.
And so,
come on.
Here's our little herd of cows. So that's Brownie.
The big brown one.
And that was a bottle-fed cow.
She's a Charolais and Angus mix.
She
she's
thinks
our loudest one right there.
She thinks we got food, so she's excited. And then we have some red Angus, and
two mamas and two babies.
We got two milk cows, April.
And we have this is a black one.
And that's Eric and Danette's cow. That was the first cow that they owned, actually, and it's just become part of our Perry Hill farm. And she has birthed several calves, and this October Grace is April's calf. And then we had a neighbor down the road that had a little old cow that
we call May.
And that's the one with the little blue halter on.
I got her for my birthday.
And that's a birthday cow for Denise and Danette. And
hey, May.
She's stunted growth because she was a bottle baby that somebody had, and I don't think they really probably bottle fed her like she should be, and she's a little stunted in her growth. But as you can see, this is the front pasture that's a few acres big, and we have it divided up in partitions so we can close off each section. So I can close this section off. And we can come down here and they can have this whole section down here by my mother-in-law's. Let me call my dog. He's coming. He's behind me. And so
Murphy, come on.
this section was all grown up with trees. You really couldn't even see this pond from the road. It was so thick.
Come on, Murphy.
Over the years, just cleaning it up, it's made it a little more aesthetic, I think is the term they use. I think that means it's pleasing to the eye.
It does have a lot more curb appeal than it used to, because like he said, it was grown up. You could not see the pond at all from the road, and we had somebody come in with an excavator and clean it all up.
But these, I'm gonna pull in here to my mother-in-law's driveway. Now, when we made this fence, my father-in-law, James, he didn't want that nasty old barbed wire fence on his driveway. He said he had to have him something pretty. That's what we say down south, pretty. But he wanted something pretty on his property. So when we built the fence, you can see down there, we had to stop and start him a wood fence. And if he was alive today, I'd pick at him, because when you back up, if you can see down that fence line, that barbed wire fence standing up straight. This wood fence is crooked. And he'd give me heck about that, but it's good memories of James. And but we cleaned out this place, and James was actually the one that helped get that started. And
It was a dream of his to make a place that was pleasing and appealing for our family to come and enjoy. And it was a legacy that he wanted to leave for us. And so every time we're out on the property looking around and seeing everything that was done, we definitely think of Dad, because it's what he wanted to leave for us. And he did it before he got real sick with his cancer, and he made it happen. So we just enjoy it and we love it. And we hope it's a place that our children will one day enjoy, to roam the pastures and fish in the pond and ride on the golf cart and just take in all the memories that were made here.
But this part, you can see those cedar limbs down on the ground. Originally, I was going to get that cut. Hurricane Michael blew that cedar tree and broke it off. There was a big honey hive in there, and I was going to take those limbs and cut them as boards, and I guess I've been lazy. I never did get that done.
You've been busy is what it is.
But this is the back side of the pasture area, and you can see the back of the goat barn way up there. That's in the back of our houses. And then the back of the cow barn. And just for perspective, you can see how, the size of pretty much our place. The fencing comes along this row, and behind us, the farmer on the other side of those trees owns that piece of property with the crop planted on it right there. And we incorporated another section that's gated back here. This was a little patch I planted in rye last year in the winter to let them in on a couple hours a day. And it goes on behind James's house, and it's the only part of the pasture we got close to actually wooded area where deer, any kind of critters could come in on the cows. So it's amazing that these cows, they must sense that, because they usually don't lay back here at night or early in the morning. They like to be out in that open pasture early in the morning, or up here, up in this corner early in the mornings. and late at night. So
The thing about this land that enticed my dad, because when we bought these places, this whole area, even where my dad's house is built now over here, was trees. Everything was trees. But what enticed him the most was the live oaks on this property. And as we scan around the property, you can see he left several live oaks that he just loves. And they are beautiful trees, and it makes beautiful just canopies of shade during the summer, and just a beautiful area.